Hello friends, welcome to day 2. If you haven't seen the video from last night yet, I definitely encourage you to check that out. It's just a few minutes. It goes over a little bit of my experience leveling up the character and kind of what I did right when I reached maps. I was absolutely exhausted, as you can tell in the video, but I am refreshed and ready to go. I woke up this morning, made my cup of coffee, and I immediately started playing. Played about 4 hours or so today, and I just want to go over the changes that I made today that are pretty important for taking the character a little bit into the next level, making it very, very comfortable in yellow maps, which is really the inflection point that I think where you can start really farming some currency and getting the pieces together for our final push into red maps, and then figuring out bossing with the Arc Witch build that we have here. So this is just going to be a quick additional little update, and then we're going to pop right onto the stream and start farming up some currency so we can really push it to the next level. So let's take a look at what I did today. All right, so quick little overview. I leveled up to level 82. And I was really focused more on defense. I have now reached the point where the offense is feeling a little bit lackluster, but I wanted to make sure that the defenses were really, really comfortable, as that's really obviously the important thing to not dying and getting XP, and that it'll make it a much more pleasant experience. You might have to attack a monster 2 or 3 times, but what really is going to slow you down is dying, recasting your auras, and getting back in there and losing 10% XP. I have good life regen, I have good block. My armor is starting to get to a comfortable level. With my flasks up, I do have 12.5 thousand, which in yellow maps is actually really, really good. The goal is obviously to get to at least between 20 and 30,000. This is a very comfortable amount with where I am at the moment. So changes from the last video are very, very minor. So I filled out Purity of Flesh, took Divine Shield, and then I grabbed Divine Judgment, which is a nice boost to damage in addition. The next thing after that is to take Devotion, Sanctum of Thought, and then Faith and Steel. Now, if you're in softcore and you're totally okay with dying, you can skip a lot of these defensive nodes and go much more into offense. And actually, the biggest bang for your buck, if you just want to go all into offense, is Stormweaver. Getting 25% increased cold and lightning damage and 5% increased damage taken actually really, really boosts our damage. Besides that, I actually unspec'd Mastermind of Discord. It costs 5 regrets per, and I took Bastion of Elements. I got a couple maps that were from Kirak that had Elemental Reflect, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So as I said, purely into defense really right now, just trying to make it incredibly comfortable. And then we'll work on the offense after that as we scale into harder maps. In terms of gems and gear, what I did is I made sure I got that Rune Dagger. As I said before in the prototype, the fun thing about this build that I think kind of makes it a little unique is that we are able to use Whirling Blades. Now, I don't really have really fast attack speed. I don't have Onslaught, Elusive, or Tailwind yet. That will be further down the road. But it already is a really nice additional mobility layer here. And it's made it an absolute joy to blast through white and yellow maps. What I like to do cadence-wise is Flame Dash into a Whirling Blades, into a Flame Dash, into a Whirling Blades. And it's really, really fast and smooth. And in fact, let's just go into a map and get a little bit of a gameplay demonstration. I had a couple folks asking about the way that you want to lay down your skills and do all the damage, so we'll show that right now. We're going to do a tier 6 rare yellow map right now. So, like I said, is we're just flame dashing and whirling bladesing, and it's just really comfortable and nice. Just kind of get through the map, cast our arc, kind of blow up the screen a little bit here. Make sure it goes out, watch the chains. You know, the damage is, it's pretty decent. We can also do a quick little nemesis here. I've been trying to level up, so you can see why there's so many in there. I've been skipping the nemesis stuff a lot because they are really, really rippy, and as we're trying to level up our character, that is a risk, of course. I do want to do it. I do like the mechanic, and I'll have a video out as I understand it a little bit better later on. But right now, I just kind of go in there, and I understand some of the recipe stuff, but that's going to come a little bit later. So what we do is we drop Orb of Storms, Hydrosphere, and then we LE Weakness and curse them. So with the Hydrosphere, and you can see that even if I face tank a really, really scary monster, we're doing okay. But yeah, what we do is we drop an Orb of Storms, we drop our Hydrosphere. We want to make sure that the Hydrosphere is on the other side of the boss or to the side, because we don't want our arc to actually hit the Hydrosphere. If it does that, it'll take the first chain and actually do less damage on the boss. So we basically want to put the Hydrosphere over here, stand in the Orb of Storms. You need to be standing in it to get the chains from it. Do an LE Weakness, and then just sit there and spam our arc. And that's about it. And it feels pretty comfortable and nice so far. So as I said, as we just kind of Whirling Blades, Flame Dash, get a nice little cadence there. You know, when we have no charges on the Flame Dash, feels really, really good to just go. Feeling nice, having a good time. Yeah, I mean, for this low level of a character, for this little investment, I'm really just enjoying this process of playing the character. Now, it will take a little bit of investment, I think, to get the single target going, but it's not bad, right? And because we're so tanky, we can just straight up face tank things. I really want to emphasize that with this configuration that I have right now, it is legit really, really tanky. I am face tanking every single boss, and I haven't died that often. So, well, if this guy ever cooperates here. All right, there he goes. No longer in wolf form. So yeah, just kind of stand there, attack him, and we're good to go. Now to go over the rest of the gear and gem changes, let's take a look. So as I said before, I just searched for any rune dagger that had +1 level of lightning spell skill gems. Bought this one for, I think, 10 chaos, which relative to the price of an Exalt does feel a little high, but I just wanted to have a rune dagger ASAP so I could start whirling and blading around. Really, that is pretty much the only notable upgrade here. Everything else is really just an incidental get more life, get more armor, get more res, etc. This is just random stuff that I've thrown into Reforged Life, Reforged Defenses, and put it on. As you can see, I just have a 5-link body armor. I bought this for, I think, 10 to 15 chaos. I actually found the little tendril item that gave me the 5% block chance, which is really, really awesome. That's actually a lesser modifier. So I found that in a white map, which is really, really cool. In terms of notable gem changes, the big one that you're going to notice here, well, at least for me, is I switched to Molten Shell with increased duration. You really want to get to the point where you have enough armor, so Molten Shell is always more than Steel Skin. So for me, that inflection point was probably around 7,000 to 8,000 armor, so make sure you have that before you switch over to Molten Shell. Also, if you do switch over to Molten Shell, make sure you have an anti-bleed flask. I was relying on Steel Skin before to remove those bleeds, and I almost died because I forgot to roll a flask there. In my main damage links, I actually bought a level 21 arc for, I believe, 16 chaos. Definitely get a look out for that. While Vol arc is really, really good, my Vol arc was only level 18, and just getting a regular level 21 arc that's always up really, really boosted my damage. If you have 10 to 20 chaos, always keep a lookout for that. It's an especially big boost in damage when you're in those yellow maps. I tried really hard to hit 5 blue sockets. If I hit 5 blue sockets, I would have increased critical strike support here because I want to have as much critical strike chance as possible, but I used all my chromatic orbs and I wasn't able to hit 5 blues. I ended up putting in Inspiration, which does have the additional benefit of reducing the mana cost of Arc, so I actually don't even need this mana flask. I am very, very comfortable on mana, but it is overall less damage because I'm not getting nearly as much critical strike chance from this. Ideally, I would have 5 blues with Arc, added lightning damage support, faster casting, Trinity, and increased critical strike support. Other than that, there have been no other changes to the character, and I've done up to tier 9 maps very, very comfortably. The harder arch nemesis monsters in those tier 9 maps definitely get a little bit dicey, but other than that, all of the regular map bosses and everything feel absolutely great. Oh, and if you do have a question about these colored icons down here, this is the Chaos Recipe Enhancer. I've been absolutely in love with it. It's a spectacular tool that is legal in the terms of service that allows you to do the Chaos Recipe very, very quickly. I'll have a video coming out on that very, very soon, so get subscribed if you're interested in that. All right, cheers everybody. Hope you're having a spectacular 317, day number 2 so far. If you're ahead of me, definitely let me know if there's any cool tech that you've come up with. Hopefully this video is helping you see how I'm thinking about scaling the character both defensively and thinking about the offenses as they're going to come down the line probably deep into the night tonight as we start working on that on the stream in just a couple minutes. Speaking of which, I got to get ready. I'm already really, really late for that. So let me know in the comments below if this was helpful for you and if this format's working for you. And definitely let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to address that can help you out and really, really enjoy this character. So as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to have fun, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.